It's Friday, 4 p.m. We're redeveloping news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao. Some stories we're watching this Friday, August 8th. China says it has lodged serious protests over President Bongbong Marcos' recent remarks on Taiwan. Marcos told Indian media outlet First Post that the Philippines will have to get involved if a U.S.-China war erupts over Taiwan due to its geographic proximity to our country. Beijing says the comments contradict Manila's previous commitment to the One China policy. In the same interview, Marcos also condemned Israel's attacks on Gaza and said Israel alone can stop the violence there.
President Bongbong Marcos also says the Supreme Court's decision on the impeachment case did not determine Vice President Sara Duterte's innocence or guilt. He emphasized that her impeachment complaint was dismissed on procedural grounds. Marcos added that there was no trial to examine the merits of the case. The Makabayan Bloc has filed a motion for reconsideration before the Supreme Court to overturn its dismissal of the impeachment case against VP Sara. The petitioners argue that the House of Representatives did not abuse their power nor violate the one-year bar rule. They insist that the lower house was simply exercising its constitutional duty by transmitting the articles of impeachment to the Senate.
And the camp of former President Duterte is asking the International Criminal Court, or the ICC, to remove Chief Prosecutor Karim Khan from the case. Duterte's lawyers said Khan has or had represented victims of the drug war before becoming an ICC prosecutor in 2021. The defense team claims that Khan failed to disclose this and may have used information from their role in pursuing Duterte's case. Khan is currently on a self-imposed leave over unrelated sexual misconduct claims.
Joining us today, as you can see, Storycon's resident political pundit, Ronald Llamas. And
Good afternoon.
and
Bati mo naman. Yung binabati. Ini-snub mo eh.
bakit ko lang kahapon?
may accountability ka na, oh.
Nagninilay ako eh. Subukan mo yun, magnilay.
Tanong mo sa kanya, alam niya yung nilay.
And from the Philippine Star, Editor-in-Chief, Ami Pamintuan.
Hi, happy Friday.
Yan ang deflection, di ba?
Stormy weekend.
Oo.
Pero ang init ngayon, ha? Maaraw ngayon.
Ngayong araw.
Today.
Pero merong
today.
dalawang
Kasi meron
ano,
nasa
baka daw
pare.
maging Pagyan and
LPA.
Goryeo.
Bukas daw, ulan.
Fabian.
Bukas.
Oo.
Kaya
Yes,
yung
although
damit
I
ni
think
Kwan.
bukas okay naman yung weather pa.
Kaya yung damit
Sunday
ni
pa
Ami,
yung
pang
ano.
panyan, pang ulan.
Bakit pangulan?
Ayan. Eh,
Kasi may
Sunday
blazer.
pa.
bluer than blue eh. Oh, yan, diba?
Okay, wait. Ano na? So to set the record straight, a lot of people are asking, bakit wala ka daw kahapon?
Ha? Meron akong meeting sa mga obispo.
Ah, okay.
Nakita kita dito yung meetings mo dito.
Ikaw talaga?
Dito sa pantry lang.
Bakit mo siya binubukay?
Tapos na yung meeting, kaya punta ako rito.
Sige, di umano.
Di umano. I love that word. Okay, we're still talking all things impeachment. Si President Marcos has weighed in on the matter. Sabi niya, as usual, hands off. The executive has nothing to do with the decision nor the process. And he pointed out that the Supreme Court did not decide on the merits of the case. It was only dismissed on procedural grounds. Natanong siya whilst in India. He still is in India. And he did a media roundtable, and that's where he was asked.
Pag binasa mo yung 97 pages, hindi lang siya procedural.
Parang may
May qualitative.
shade.
May mga dagdag eh.
Oo,
May
oo.
qualitative.
There
May mga dagdag.
there was an insinuation that this was being done for political purposes. May political agenda, right?
Tsaka hindi dinenay ng due process yung Vice President, yung akusado. So,
Na sinabi din ni VP Sara ngayon na she actually echoed what Chis Escudero said eh. Anti-Duterte daw yung ano, yung impeachment, although since it's an impeachment against her, of course it's anti-Duterte.
Ate Duterte nga eh. Siya nga yung akusado.
But also she repeats na she had wanted a bloodbath para magkalabas ng ebidensya.
Oo. And now, she's not getting it, sabi niya.
Kung ako
I
kasi
don't know if
gusto
that's
ko,
just talk, though.
kung gusto ko kasi ng bloodbath, hindi ako nag-file sa Supreme Court para i-dismiss.
So you're questioning whether
But I also,
she meant
kasi
it
we
or
had
not.
our reporter in Davao yesterday reporting about that, the bloodbath and sana gusto raw niya ilabas ebidensya. My question then was but what's stopping her from bringing out her own evidence if she really wants to
I
talk
guess
about
she
the
wanted a
evidence?
court.
Parang,
She wanted to do it at
parang
court. Right?
Kasi at the same time, during the hearings in the House, she was also saying na she refuses to discuss further the issues against her
Correct.
with
She'll
the
do
lower
it at the
chamber.
proper forum. That's what they keep
yung
saying.
impeachment nga.
Oo.
Sana sinabihan niya yung kanyang mga supporters na mga senador na suportahan nyo yung move na hindi i-dismiss. Para
Pagkatalit may bloodbath.
pinapaliwanag ni Professor Ranjit na kaya tumaas yung mga gustong magkaroon ng impeachment. Bahagi nun, mga pro-Duterte rin para makita yung ebidensya. Magkalabasan na talaga. No? Buti pa sila.
Because it's true. Maybe the evidence is weak. We don't know, right? Until magkalabasan na sa court and we never got to that point. And that's why they say due process din to for her. It's a way to get vindicated, to get acquitted if it comes to that, right? It's a way to clear her name kung totoo ngang wala naman anomalies doon.
At the same
Actually,
time,
kahit mahina yung ebidensya, even during the 19th Congress, di ba nagbibilangan na nga tayo nun?
Oo.
She had enough votes to acquit her.
Okay.
Kung ano yun, tapos na yun eh.
Oo. Speaking of impeachment case, let's bring in our guest now. We have got our first guest, Senate Minority. Well,
Ay,
sorry,
sayang,
naputol yung line, so we'll bring him in a bit later. We are talking today to Senate Minority Leader Tito Sotto.
si Tito Sen, ang ating kausap. So abangan po ninyo. We'll bring him back soon.
Kausap ko din siya kanina.
Oh.
Nag-post si Reds kagabi, very, very late at night. Si Senator Risa released a statement qualifying what happened. Sabi niya, she acknowledges that there was an error dun sa
One
the two
of the
cases that she
cases.
cited, one of the cases hindi pala unanimous.
Yes.
Yung isa to,
League
But the
of
second
Cities.
one
Was unanimous.
Was unanimous. Ito yung
Isaa
talong.
versus Greenpeace.
Yung genetically
Yes.
modified talong
Yes.
sa
Yan.
Greenpeace
Yan,
case.
unanimous yun. Tapos ni-reverse.
Yun yung Isaa versus Greenpeace. Pero yung first, yung League of Cities,
Yeah.
the Supreme Court already pointed out that it was not a unanimous decision.
Yes.
So, kinorek naman ni Senator Risa. And of course,
So there's this big war now on social media na
Correct.
na she's the queen daw of fake news.
Buti nga,
nakita ko yung
buti nga.
banat sa kanya ni Harry Roque.
Ay,
Mag-abogado ka muna, sabi ni Harry Roque.
But there-
Mag-abogado
there
ka
buti
also-
nga, you acknowledge
But
the
there are two
error.
ways of looking at it. On one hand, you had one camp saying na virtue saying na there has been no reversal of unanimous decisions. The other hand, you have another camp saying, yeah, there have been, and I have two cases, although one pala mali, the other one is tama. So who
So
is
meron.
more correct?
So merong
Among between
unanimous,
the two of them.
merong unanimous case na na-reverse. Yun lang naman ang point.
But my question is, who turns out to be the more correct between the two of them?
I will tell you who's more reliable, though. Someone who will come out right and say, okay, we were wrong, mali yung na-research, and this is the correct one, right?
Ako kasi in the end, the second one is more correct. Kasi the first one was saying na that's impossible, it's never been done.
Oh. But you know what, the more I think about it, parang don't you think na we keep talking about the probability of the Supreme Court overturning when it's unanimous, but don't you think that the probability is higher because it's unanimous? Because think about it, if it were split, let's say 7-6, parang you're kind of pitting the 6 against the 7. Would those 6 change their minds, right? Versus if you collectively say, for instance, okay, we as a judicial body got the facts wrong to begin with, then, you're not singling anybody out. Hindi nakakahiya to say, okay, nagkamali kami. Wouldn't that be, wouldn't that make it easier if you as a collective body
Senator Marcos would say, you're speculating.
No, I'm just saying, like, the more I think about it, parang, okay.
Mahirap kasi labanan ng hubris whether individual
Yeah, that's true,
or collective.
Yes, that's true.
It's a
That's
question of
Tandaan nyo na yung ruling na yan affects the Supreme Court justices who are all impeachable.
But that's
Kaya
the thing.
kung pinahirap nila yung pag-i-impeach sa sarili nila, baka pag-isipan niya na, bakit namin ibabalik yung yung dati? Di ba?
Oh. Yeah, that's true.
Yan lang ang problema dyan, na they might think about themselves. Pero kung if they will listen to people who are saying, your ruling is based on factual errors, baka pag-isipan nila, hindi correctin natin.
Yeah.
Pero kung hindi sana sila apektado kasi, they are impeachable officials yan ang problema dyan.
Nakakatawa lang dahil meron kang 5 months na hindi inaksyonan yung forthwith. Tapos meron kang a few days na inaksyonan yung immediately executory. Diba? Parang masyado namang glaring. Ilang araw lang naman yung hihintayin para ma-resolve yung MR.
Akala ko tapos
MR,
yung case
several
kasi
days
February
lang
pa
yan,
yung February pa final yung case ni Torian and company.
Yeah.
Mas mabango sana yung Senate
July.
kung pinayagan mo na nila mag-MR. Ilang araw lang naman yun
Oo nga.
Hihintayin mo No? Ba't
Saka
nagmamadali?
ang babait nila ngayon, hindi ba meron ding Supreme Court order dun sa against the pork barrel? Binalik nila ng binalik meron din ganung order ng Supreme Court. Huwag na kayong magganyan, pork barrel. Post-budget earmarking. Inulit nila. Merong Supreme Court ruling against postponement of barangay elections. Ito na naman, may panibago na naman tayong bill na baka daw mag-lapse into law next week. Diba? I mean, if you're going to be
Technical
talking
about
about compliance with the
Yes.
Supreme Court, you have to be consistent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to begin with, yung forthwith nga di ba? It comes back to that. February pa lang na file. If you understood, if you were trying to hold fidelity to the principles of the Constitution and the spirit of the Constitution, di dapat forthwith nag-convene na, and then they make decisions on the impeachment case.
Nasa spelling nga kasi yun
Nasa spelling?
Forthwith.
Okay,
Pagdating ng fifth.
this is why
Pagdating
the
fifth month.
words forthwith, remand, and archive have been added to the lexicon. Kasi,
Tito joke naman yun.
pero I'd be
Kaya
interested.
dapat sa susunod, mag-aral ng mass communication. Dapat, keep it simple. Kung nalagay ba doon immediately, hindi tayo nag-aaway ng ganito.
Hindi,
Ayusin nyo yung standard nyo. Masyado mataas ang standard nyo
Bubaan pa na naman.
Pero on the other hand, sa House rules din, nakalagay doon na upon the filing of a verified complaint, the House should also immediately send the complaint to the Speaker's office.
Yan naman ang sinasabi ni Cheese. Bakit sila hindi nag-forthwith ngayon, pinipilit nila kami
So
mag-forthwith.
nagbabalikan sila ng ganun.
Parang,
Diba?
mapapaganon ka na lang.
There's never, kayo ba may naalala
Tagal
kayo,
daw inaksyon na ng House. Bakit daw sila minamadali?
may naalala ba kayo instance in the past na nag-away yung two chambers like this?
Not like this,
over procedures.
Over
rules,
procedures.
oo. Yung with one chamber questioning the other chamber over their own rules. May naalala ba kayong episode na?
May respect kasi. May respect.
May interparliamentary courtesy.
May co-equal branches
Hindi, ang mas katakataka rito, Bok, yung the level of the fighting involved. Kasi personalan this is the first time I heard somebody from one chamber demanding or calling on the other chamber to change their leadership.
Change the speaker.
Tsaka matindi yung...
At tinawag na bonjing. And this is on record. This is in plenary.
Official. Hindi, yung yung privilege speech lang ni Senate President Cheese Yung banat niya sa House. Diba? Matindi yung banat niya.
Are you really for justice, or do you just want a conviction, amongst other things, right? But even on the House, I mean, kahit on the House, marami na rin nag-issue ng statement, like House Speaker Romualdez, sila Congressman Jude Isidre, defending the integrity of the lower house. So parang yun nga, that's what we were saying, no? The interparliamentary courtesy has been thrown out the window in this
Tsaka
case.
yung sabi ng Okta, ito yung first time sa survey nila na mas mataas yung approval rating ng House.
Okay.
Dito says here.
I think we've got our guest ready now. We are speaking to Senate Minority Leader Tito Sotto. Good afternoon, sir. Can you
Afternoon,
hear us
sir.
po?
Good afternoon, SP. Long time no see.
Oo nga, good afternoon. Kami rin ni Ami, long time
Oo
no
nga,
see.
kanina lang kami nagkausap.
Rihina, and then Ed and Ronald. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, sir. Kamusta na po kayo, sir? Like, you know,
After the tussle with the notes,
after the big, after the big tussle.
SP, congratulations sa inyong conduct nung nakaraan
Oo.
na August 6, no?
Yeah.
If I may say so.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say na marami pong na-impress with how prepared and how articulate you were defending your arguments, pero clearly, na-disappoint pa rin po kayo, no? When you look back, was there anything you would have done differently?
Well, first of all, thank you very much sa mga, for your words. Thank you very much. Is there anything I would have done differently? That was the most I can do. The only way I would be able to thwart or to stop the motion to dismiss is to come up with a higher motion, a higher precedence motion, which I did. And we had to debate that. And while we were debating that, I was able to infuse what I thought was wrong with the perception of some of the senators and why they should not follow a wrong decision. It gave me a chance to do that.
Sir, follow ko yun. You were saying ito sa higher motion eh. I kept hearing that or something along those lines during the August 6 debate na parang the motion to table takes precedence over other motions. Is that correct? Is that the way it goes?
Yeah, yes. The precedence of motions in the rules of parliamentary rules and even in the rules of the Senate itself. The number one motion that cannot be debated is a motion to adjourn. You either vote or not. Number two is a motion for recess. And then 3, 4 others. Fifth sa presidents yung yung motion to lay on the table. And a privilege motion or a motion on the floor has very low precedence.
SP, nagpasalamat ba sa inyo si Senator
Looking on the
Marcoleta?
bright side, ha? Sa tingin niyo ba kasi hindi naman mukhang masaya yung mga kabila rin eh. Sa tingin niyo, small victory din to na hindi siya na-dismiss outright?
Perhaps, yes, to a certain extent. But sa akin kasi the important thing is that we were able to lay it out, to lay out what we wanted to say, what I wanted to say, and some of the members of the minority. So it gave us a chance to do that. Yes, you could consider it a small victory. And I think they themselves, the members of the majority, were not too keen on the dismissal afterwards. Kasi biglang, di ba, pumayag sila sa archive imbis na dismissal. And they were trying to convince me na pumayag na rin ako sa archive. Kami nila Senator Lacson, Tiberos, Bam and Kiko. They were trying to convince us na pwede na yun. Pero sa akin kasi, I just wanted to make sure that when we say archive, it's like, we can bring it back anytime. I just wanted them to say it on the floor. And I think 1 or 2 of them said so during their voting. Kasi ang pinakadelikado sa archive, merong mga ibang meaning ng archive na nilibing
Yes.
Pag nilibing yun, paano nag-MR ang Yun ang pinakamabigat na question na hindi ako masagot Paano gagawin natin kung ang motion for reconsideration binagbigyan ng Supreme Court at nag-reverse?
Iba rin
Yun
talaga.
dinismiss na natin. Di mukha tayong tanga. Hindi ba? Yun ang importante doon Because, again, I will say this once again. I am not about, my stand is not about Vice President Sara. My stand is the preservation of the Constitution and the parliamentary rules and procedures.
Ronald?
Well, sabi ko nga kanina, SP, no? Na nagpasalamat ba sa inyo si Senator Marcoleta dahil parang marami siyang natutunan sa inyo tungkol sa rules ng Senate, no? At meron din kayong mga kinorek sa kanya together with Senator Ping Lacson. No, sabi nga ni Senator Ping Lacson, medyo hilaw yung interpretasyon ni Senator Marcoleta dun sa kanyang binanggit. Kaya seriously, sabi ko, nagpasalamat ba sa inyo? Ang tanong ko sana, SP, ay hindi kayo abogado pero nung nagsalita kayo at nag-intervene noong August 6, parang batikan kayong abogado. Nagbabasa ba kayo ng mga law books? Nag-aaral ba kayo ng mga ganyan? Pero
Yes.
impressive
Oo naman, hindi naman kailangan maging abogado ka para ma-master mo yung parliamentary rules and procedures At saka yung 28 years ko sa legislation masahol pa sa kumuha ako ng 5 taon ng law at saka pumasa sa bar.
Pero sir, I hope you don't mind. Pero alam mo ng mga tao they go by first impressions, and some of them would say na yan si Tito Sen One Boy University yan.
Well, on the lighter side, dalas ito, biro ko nung araw ito marami sa mga kasama namin na nagbayad sila para pumasok sa eskwelahan sa law school Ako, binayaran ako para pumasok sa One Ball University.
Sir, balikan ko lang yung issue ng archive. Kasi the impression I'm getting is that parang walang concrete meaning or fixed meaning or definition ng archive sa rules. Kasi parang kayo nangangamba kayo kung ano ibig sabihin. That's why you're trying to get commitments from the other senators na hindi to dead in the water.
Wala naman talaga. It's not part of the rules, di ba?
Tsaka nabanggit nyo, SP, na archive is tantamount to dismissal No? Nabanggit nyo rin yun noong August 6.
Oo. Merong interpretasyon na gano'n kaya nakakatakot Kaya hindi pa rin ako pumayag Kahit sinabi nila na pwede na archive na lang. Na para pwede, basta siniguro ko na pwedeng bunutin. Pwedeng bunutin pagka sinabi ng Supreme Court na nagre-reverse sila.
Pero sir, it's not in black and white. There's nothing in black and white in the rules about archiving. It's not mentioned in the Senate rules.
Paano mahalaga, SP, yung binanggit ni Senator Ping Lacson na paano tayo magdi-dismiss? Hindi naman tayo impeachment court. Diba? Sabi niya, we are legislative senate at this point. So, paano tayo magdi-dismiss?
Totoo, ang bigat doon. Dinidismiss natin? Kasama pa nun, yung tinatanong naman natin na dinidismiss natin? Akala ko ba wala raw tayong jurisdiction, sabi ng Supreme Court. Wala raw yung jurisdiction sa amin. Wala raw, hindi nila kinibilang yung June 9 na nag-oath yung SP, June 10 nag-oath yung iba, at send out sila ng mga summonses. Di binibilang na Supreme Court yun. Ang sinasabi lang nila, wala raw kami jurisdiction. Dinidismiss natin wala naman pala tayong jurisdiction. Di ba? Yun ang kakonect doon sa sinasabi ni Senator Lacson.
Sir, kagabi sa podcast ni Christian Esguerra, you said yung regarding the vote ni Senator Ping, sabi nyo, abstention is a no. Just done in a polite way. Ano nangyari doon? You weren't able to convince him?
No, he was he wanted to adhere to the Supreme Court decision Yun ang talagang nasa isip ni Senator Lacson noon Pero alam niya na payag siya na i-archive na payag siya ron. Pero ang hindi niya nagustuhan doon sa motion, may binabanggit pang July 25 ng the Supreme Court ganito, ganyan. Kaya ang ginawa niya, para wag naman dang kumontra sa akin, nag-abstain. Pero alam naman namin ako veterano ako dyan Pag sinabi mong abstain ka, no yun. Ayaw mo lang, polite ka lang.
What about the other two minority members, sir? Hindi niyo po na-convince? I mean, going into the debate, parang alam na po natin how each person would vote What about, did you try to talk to them kahit papaano? I'm talking about Senators Legarda and Zubiri.
Hindi, kasi during the caucus, which hindi naman executive session yun, kaya pwede kong banggitin sa inyo. During the caucus, naramdaman ko na silang dalawa na, they're on the other side of the fence So, nung nandun kami, bago magbotohan, lumapit sa akin si Migs, nagpapaalam siya. Pasensya ka na, sabi niya, boss, dahil kasi alam mo naman, dito ako sa ganito, ganyan. Si Loren, ganun din. Hindi tayo maghihiwalay, dito lang, sabi sa akin kasi daw. Pero din, political eh. So the reason is political. Sa akin, the reason is, constitution eh. Yun na sa akin doon. Hindi, walang politika sa akin doon eh. Mali. Meron pa nga isang hindi nabanggit, Ronald, Gina, Ami, and Ed, Meron akong isang hindi nabanggit, nakalimutan ko eh. Yung, di ba, pinuna ko yung mali ang dates nila, mali din yung pag-archive nila. Iba archive ng Supreme Court, saka iba ang adjournment na sinasabi nila. So, ang adjournment sinidi, iba sa adjournment. Okay? So, ayun, alright. Ang hindi ko nabanggit, yung sinabi sa Supreme Court decision, ang House daw nagkamali dahil after 11 days pa daw, pinorward. Ang hindi totoong 11 days yun. Pag tinignan mo yung records ng House, nagsususpend sila ng roll call. Iba siguro sa Supreme Court, iba sa amin sa Kongreso eh. Pagka nagsuspend ka ng roll call, at kinabukasan, pangalawang nag-meeting pa rin kayo, nag-resume kayo, session is resumed, sinabi nyo gano'n. Nire-resume nyo lang yung the other day. Kaya hindi sila naka-11 days. Pag binilang mo, tignan mo yung records nila, baka mga 5 days lang yun 6 days. Kasi nga, nag-suspend sila
Suspension.
ng session at hindi sila nag-adjourn. Pag nag-adjourn ka, it's counted another day kinabukasan.
Yes.
Pero pag nag-suspend ka, it's the same day. As a matter of fact, we are even, kami sa Kongreso, we can even stop the clock. There is a motion to stop the clock. Palagay mo, alas 12 na ng gabi. Tayo'y mag-adjourn na dapat. At 11:59, I move to stop the clock. The clock, as far as the legislation is concerned, is still 11:59 kahit kinabukasan pa tayo mag-usap-usap. Meron kaming ganun eh. Apparently, hindi alam ng mga sa likod ng Supreme Court yan.
Yung jurisprudence
Senator.
nga, binabago yung tradition pa sa House
Well.
SP.
Oo. Ami? Yeah, go ahead.
Senator, dagdag ko lang yung na gusto lang namin malinawan ibig sabihin ng archive. Sa regular legislation, kapag in-archive nyo yung bill, ano ang mangyayari dun sa bill na yun?
Parang yun, nakabaon na sa limot yun.
Hindi siya, malabo na siyang ma-revive. Kasi yun ang sinasabi ng iba eh. Parang na daw yan. Talagang buried na daw siya.
May paraan. May paraan para kunin yun. A majority vote on a motion to...
To revive siguro.
Nawala yata siya.
I think we lost the line.
Yeah, nawala siya.
Yan, nagchachapi lang. I can hear some static eh. Sige. I suppose, ayan si sir.
Ayan na siya. Senator?
The archive is possible. You retrieve from the archive.
Sir, what you're saying is
Pwede.
it's possible, but it will take a great deal of huffing and puffing to blow it back into to blow it back into the chamber.
Yes, but karamihan ng boto nila sinabi nila kasi dahil their vote is to archive because the decision of the Supreme Court decision. Kung nagbago ang Supreme Court decision, baliktad lahat sa sinabi nila. So they will have to agree.
So ano proseso doon? Kapag bumaliktad ng Supreme Court, edi you will get jurisdiction again over the case. Kailangan pa ba ng panibagong botohan na ituloy na natin to?
To resuscitate.
O kailangan magbotohan dahil 20th Congress na kami, magbobotohan na naman at merong pwedeng mag-file na i-dismiss na lang natin yan before trial. Anong proseso doon?
Pwede mangyari yan. Pero ang pinakamaganda, matino na gagawin namin is i-retrieve namin sa archive, mag-convene kami as an impeachment court, tapos desisyon na namin yung sasabihin ng defense na motion to dismiss. Sila dapat ang mag-motion to dismiss. Hindi naman dapat, hindi naman dapat member of the Senate eh.
Pero sir, for clarity lang, I think what I'm trying to ask is pag just in case mag-decision ng Supreme Court nga in favor of the MR, Automatic bang mabubuhay yan o kailangan
Hindi,
pang
magvo-vote
may
pa sila.
motion,
Iboto.
tapos majority vote na haba-habang debate, and all that?
Patanggalin mo nga yung
Yeah,
lapid,
but majority vote to bring it back to
Majority.
So, away
the
ulit.
floor.
Oo. Pero I guess, hindi po kayo, the reason you say it's more or less dead is because kahit mag-majority vote, we expect most of the Senate members to vote the same way. Is that correct?
Well, if that happens, mananagot sila sa taong bayan kasi ang pinag-uusapan dito, sabi ninyo, yung Supreme Court decision ang basis ninyo eh. So pagkatapos nagbaliktad ng Supreme Court decision, hindi na.
Pero
Hindi
alam niyo naman,
kayo magbabago, hindi kayo magbabago ng inyong posisyon.
pero alam niyo naman, SP, maraming mga politiko, nilulunok yung sinabi nila.
Joke only.
Salbahe ka na.
Si Ronald mo yun, si Ronald.
Hindi, pero ano yung vote doon?
Di naman
Yung
lahat.
voting to
Hindi.
revive, ilang votes ang kailangan?
Majority of the quorum.
13.
Ah,
Third ng
Kung may
quorum. Okay.
kung buo kami, 13.
Oo.
So sir, technically it's possible na kung mag-approve nga yung Supreme Court sa MR, it's still possible that the majority
Hindi
can
matuloy.
still keep it in the archives in secularum.
Oo. Pwedeng mangyari yun. Kasi naman yung motion for reconsideration ng Supreme Court, no? Sa akin, on a personal note, sana reviewin lang nila yung mga ilang parte ron na sinabi nila. Hindi sana binabanggit ng mga nag-petition sa Supreme Court ngayon. Kasi ang kabadong-kabado ako doon sa mga requirements na bago eh. They practically amended the Constitution. Pagkatapos, yung mga susunod na impeachment, hindi na yung kay VP Sara, yung mga susunod na impeachment, may isa sa mga requirements doon, kailangan lahat ng members ng Congress binasa ang articles of impeachment. At kailangan extensively dapat humarap yung defendant at kasagutin yung mga sagot muna bago maging articles of impeachment. Ang question niya sa ganyang requirement sa bago ng Supreme Court, paano kung ayaw umaten? Wala na. Wala na. Hindi naman na-impeach. Wala ka naman articles of impeachment, sabi ng Supreme Court. Dahil ayaw umaten eh.
Senator, may option ba kayo to dismiss without trial? Kung sakasakali lang balik pa rin ng Supreme Court yung ruling ibalik sa inyo jurisdiction, may option ba mga senador na hindi i-try? Halimbawa, nag-motion uli ng dismissal yung defense at nagbotohan yung mga senator, o sige, dismiss na lang natin, ayaw na namin mag-trial. I'm asking this kasi merong ilang mga senador na nagsasabi, hindi naman to about accountability, it's about just an attack on the Vice President, it's a political thing. Paano kung ganun yung takbo nung pwedeng option ba yon sa senador? Ayaw ko i-try yan kasi political lang naman yan.
Pwede mangyari yun, pero napakapangit. Napakapangit sa Senado nun. Kung kami ngayon ay ang rating ng Senado ay napakababa, yan baksak na. Pagka nangyari yun. Sapagkat ang pinag-uusapan na niya, rule of law. Hindi pilit sila ng pilit na si BP Sara ang problema. Hindi si BP Sara ang problema para sa akin. Ang problema is yung procedures at saka yung rule of law.
Ito nga sa SP, ito yung first time na mas mataas ang Congress sa approval rating kaya sa Senado eh. Parang
Pag nangyari yung sinasabi ni Ami, nako,
lalo na.
babaksak yan. Ibig sabihin, sinabi na ng Supreme Court, sige, pwede nyo i-try. Pagkatapos, sasabihin namin, ayaw namin.
Ayaw,
Hindi pwede.
SP, merong incident do sa August 6 na biglang sumingit si Senator Bato. Sabi niya, napag-usapan na yan sa caucus na yan ay i-table, no? Yung dismissal, no? Tapos sumingit kayo, kinurek nyo siya. Ano ba napag-usapan sa caucus? If you may discuss it. Oo.
Again, it was not an executive session. It was a caucus. Napag-usapan na naman. Kaya hindi bawal na sabihin ko. Napag-usapan doon na August 6, natatayuan ni Senator Dante Marcoleta yung motion to dismiss, ang proposal daw niya. Sinabi niya yun doon sa caucus mga iba naman sa amin, hindi naman umiimik Pero yun ang sinasabi niya. Wala naman kaming, siyempre, sa loob-loob ko, siyempre, tatanungin natin, bakit, ganun-ganun. Ngayon, itong sinasabi ni Senator Bato, merong August 6 kaming, pagdating ng August 6, motion to dismiss. Napag-usapan na, mag-motion to dismiss. Pero wala kami napag-usapan na magkakaroon ng
Botohan.
debate. Wala kami pinag-usapan na hindi pwede mag-debate. Wala rin kaming, at saka ang punto ko, noong pinag-uusapan namin yun, walang MR. Nagkaroon ng MR eh. Yun ang mabigat, di ba? MR eh. Kaya hindi walang value yung sinabi ni Senator Bato.
I want to come back to the fact na, of course, sabi niyo nga, Sen, sa caucus, nilapitan na po kayo ni Senators Legarda and Zubiri to say, pasensya na, this is how they're gonna vote, it's political for them. And then, even in the days before the debate, alam na po namin, sinabi na ni Senator Jinggoy na around 19 senators will vote to dismiss, in favor of the dismissal of the case. So parang going into it, parang may kanya-kanya ng idea, may kanya-kanya ng, they've decided on the vote, right? Kahit na,
Whatever.
again, I want to point out that you took a separate oath to become senator judges, right? Different pa from your oath as lawmakers. And that oath involved, you
Yes.
know,
Listening to the evidence.
looking at the evidence and making a decision based on the evidence solely, right? And that's a big disappointment, I think, for a lot of people.
Yes. Well, you're right, Regina. You're right. It's a disappointment to a lot of people. Kasi supposed to be, we took the oath. They took the oath to that, no?
Oo.
Kami yung oath namin is to preserve the Constitution as senators, eh. Hindi pa kami nag-o-oath. Yung
As
iba
a
sa amin, hindi
court.
pa nag-o-oath as
Oo nga pala.
impeachment court,
Yeah.
eh.
Senator, tinanong ko to kahapon kay Senator Risa. Considering the vote doon sa August 6, that's 19 senators, at mukhang hindi pa naman yan on the merits, kung sakasakali man na mag-reverse ang Supreme Court, matuloy yung trial, it's the same senators,
Yun na nga.
and mukhang they've made up their minds already. Sa tingin niyo ba, hindi ba tingin niyo parang magiging exercise in futility lang to?
Depende nga sa resulta ng MR, ang tingin ko. Kasi we have to give them the benefit of the doubt na kapag ang MR ay naging successful at binaligtad ng Supreme Court ng sarili nila, ini-expect ko rin na marami sa mga kasama namin ay babaliktad. Babaliktad din ang pananaw nila.
Pero sir, if
You don't think everyone is voting along political lines?
Not everyone. We will have to give the senators the benefit of the doubt. Kung meron man dyan na may political line, siguro mabibilang ko sa kamay.
Sa isang kamay, sir, or
Pero
dalawang
sir,
kamay?
yung House leader, yung leadership, specifically si Senator Chis Escudero, ang reading niya in his speech was it was all political more than anything.
Yeah. Anti-Duterte.
And that, I suppose, that colors the opinion of a lot of other senators as well.
Actually, nalulungkot ako marinig yung ganun eh. Kasi ang pinag-uusapan nga eh, again, ang punto ko was the rule of law and the Constitution, preservation of the Constitution. Yun ang punto ko eh. Pero ang pananaw ng iba, puro political ang binanggit. May si ganito, ganyan, si ganyan nga. Di ba? Hindi, it's a disappointment
Oo.
as far as I'm concerned.
No.
Pero ang tingin ko, pag nag-iba MR, wala nang dahilan eh. You have to listen to it, you have to convene the impeachment court, and kung gusto nyo ng political at meron kayong gano'n, dismiss natin doon sa impeachment court. I-dismiss nila sa impeachment court. Sa akin, ganyan. Sundin natin kung ano yung dapat gawin, okay. Di ba? Walang problema. Kung gusto nyo majority sa kanila, i-dismiss. I-dismiss natin.
I also like it when you pointed out that during the debate, no, that ikaw sir, have been friends with Digong since 1998, and also VP Sara is also your friend.
1988.
1988.
Actually.
So, kulang pa ako ng 10 years. 1988. Oo. So in this whole time, their side has never reached out to you to try to
Influence you.
influence you in some way?
Hindi, hindi. Even when I was Senate President, kami ni President Digong nagkakaintindihan kami. Kahit tanungin niyo siya. Hindi kami, basta alam niya kung pag may pinanindigan ako, kilala niya ako Pag may pinanindigan ako, paninindigan ko yun, whether I'm right or whether I am against the tide. Pero basta I think I'm right, I will fight for it. If you tell me, if you prove that I'm wrong, I will agree with you. Di ba? Ganun yun ganun kasi ugali ko Kilala ako ni President hindi niya gagawin yun. Hindi rin gagawin nila VP Sara yun.
Sabi nyo nga, SP, ang usapin dito is rule of law. Ang usapin dito yung ating konstitusyon, which we have to defend, as well as yung institusyon ng ating bansa, katulad ng Senate. It's a very important institution. Pag na-weaken ito, nawi-weaken yung buong bansa. Pero karamihan na SP do sa mga nagsalita ng mga senador, ini-invoke din nila konstitusyon At yung isang senador, Biblia at saka konstitusyon ang ini-invoke. No? So, anong kaibahan do sa posisyon nyo na mahalaga na depensahan natin yung konstitusyon? At saka yung mga sinasabi nitong ibang senador na para silang defender ng konstitusyon.
Paano naging defender ka ng konstitusyon kung yung konstitusyon inaamendahan ng walang karapatang mag-amenda, bayag ka? Paano naging pro-constitution doon? Because wala naman sa konstitusyon na pwede mag-amend ang Supreme Court Pwede silang mag-interpret. At kung ano yung interpretasyon nila, interpreta, hindi sinasabing amend. Di ba? Interpret. Kung yung interpretation nila, at times, it becomes law. Pero ito, hindi Ito, ibang klase ito. There's no law. Yung konstitusyon ang pinag-uusapan. Hindi interpret yung konstitusyon, biglang inamend. Naglagay ng mga requirements for impeachment at inaalis yung option 3, which according to the framers of the Constitution is one of the most, if not the most important piece of provision in the Article 11 of the Constitution. Silang mga framers ng Constitution mismo nagsasabi niyan, ba't di tayo maniwala sa kanila? Sila gumawa
Oo. Okay, Senator, last na for me. Since na-mention na rin si SP Cheese, I wanted to ask how your relationship with him is. I mean, it's not a secret na you were gunning for the Senate presidency then. Kamusta naman po kayo?
Okay naman, cordial.
Cordial.
Cordial, wala naman, wala akong masamang tinapay
Yun yung
kahit
political
kanino sa
statement,
kanila
cordial.
Iba kaaway ni Cheese
Si Ami yun, sir.
Yeah.
Hindi,
That's it?
pagbigyan mo na si Ian.
Cordial lang, sir?
Ano tayo, cordial?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've known each other a long time. Congressman pa sila So okay lang, wala namang kaming problema.
Okay. Pero clearly, you think you can do better.
I refuse to answer that question.
Invoke your right to self-incrimination.
Huling tanong SP, dahil isa kasing medyo lines na cross dito, yung respect for co-equal branches of government. Di ba? Inabanggit nyo rin
Yes.
kanina. No? At kahit ganyan yung boto ng karamihan sa Senado, medyo natapakan din yung institusyon, nung desisyon ng Supreme Court. From your vantage point, no, paano aayusin yan? No? Dahil kung hindi maayos yan, medyo kahit walang constitutional crisis, substantially ay na-weaken yung ating lahat ng institusyon.
Institutional crisis.
Kayo bilang leader, not only sa Senado, kundi as a political leader, from your vantage point, paano natin sisimulang ayusin yung weakening ng ating mga institusyon?
Sa akin, it must be during the motion for reconsideration. But I don't care. Ano pa ang gusto nilang gawin doon? Except ang sana, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they remove the requirements for impeachment. Yung talagang tingin ko blunder yun because you actually amended the Constitution So at wala na may impeach, believe me, wala na may impeach. Ayaw umattend, hindi pwedeng impeach. Hindi nabasa ng isang congressman lang hindi makabasa ng articles of impeachment, ayaw magpasa, hindi na mai-impeach. Kahit sino pa. Yun lang sana. And keeping my fingers crossed, the motion for reconsideration, whatever their final decision is, pero alisin nila yung mga requirements na yon na inamenda nila ang konstitusyon. Di na bali yung 10 days, 11 days. Hindi nila alam yung ang strategy sa parliament eh. Hindi bali na rin yung in-archive daw ng wala pa sa adjournment. Hindi naman totoo. Di bali na rin yun. Huwag na rin yun. Okay na. Sige, pwede natin palampasin yun. Pati yung sinabi ro sa decision na sabi raw ng ABS-CBN hindi raw nagpasa sa session hall, sa plenary. Yung pala, meron pala CCTV, nag-plenary. Huwag na yun. Basta doon lang sana. Huwag nilang ipilit na lagyan ng bagong requirements ang konstitusyon sa impeachment because they practically erased, deleted impeachment or Article 11 in the Constitution.
Yeah. Tama.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Sige.
Okay.
Maraming
Thank you very
salamat,
much.
SP.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Alam
Thank you
ko,
po.
initially dapat
Salamat
15
po.
minutes
My
lang.
pleasure.
Extend. Thank you so
Thank
much
you, sir.
for
Si
talking
Reg
to
po
us.
may kasalanan doon.
Senate Minority Leader Tito Sotto. Salamat, sir.
Salamat.
Yes, thank you,
SP.
Regina, Ed, Ronald, and Amy. Thank you
Sige
very
po.
much. Good
Thank
afternoon.
you.
Sabi ko sa'yo eh.
Sabi mo sa akin,
15 minutes.
cordial tayo?
Ha?
We're cordial?
Yeah.
You wanna get chords and strike each other.
Cordial.
That's a good way to put it. Yes. I do want some
Ako
chords.
nasa labas ako ng kuweba, ikaw nasa loob eh.
Oo nga, hindi na ako lalabas ng kuweba. You know, because being inside the cave means you hold people...
Pinaliwanag.
It's a Friday, man. Give it to her.
You hold people to a higher standard.
Hindi ko na kukontrahin.
Oh.
Ay, teka, habol ko lang ha. Nung isang araw, kwento lang Ami ha, isang araw may isang grupo ng sa Wanayala na lagpas ako. Tapos sabi sa akin, ay, Storycon. Paglingon ko,
Mga seniors.
Ayaw ko lang sabihin seniors eh. Mga kasing edad mo.
Seniors.
Millennial siya. He's a millennial.
Isang grupo sila, siguro mga 6 sila, hindi ko na nakuha yung pangalan eh. Nakakatuwa naman, nanonood sila. Nag-group viewing ho ba kayo? Gusto ko na yun, ganun eh.
Hindi, Gen Z daw siya, Gen Z. Gen
Puso ko.
Senior.
Yung puso ko. Yung buhok ko, boomer. Pero yung puso ko, Gen Z.
Gen Senior. But let's talk about that last thing that he said. What are the chances, no? Okay, they acted on the MR. They keep the decision as is, pero tinanggal yung provision that they added to make the impeachment cases harder.
Those are
right?
seven
That's
items.
a
Hindi,
lot
nagdagdag
eh.
sila ng rules.
Oo.
Nagdagdag sila ng requirements
Kaya nga,
to make it harder.
Actually, conflict of interest yun dahil impeachable person ka eh.
Impeachable sila, hindi
Impeachable
dapat
person ka eh.
nilalagay ng
Diba?
ganun.
Bakit mo babaguhin yung rules
Covers them eh.
na kino-cover ka? Parang hindi honorable yon.
Sabi nga ni Tito Sen, kung ayaw mag-attend ng accused, di hindi na matutuloy yung impeachment. Kung ayaw
Hindi na
magbasa ng isang
matutuloy,
congressman,
Oo.
hindi matutuloy yung impeachment.
Correct.
Halimbawa, kung si Congressman Laila de Lima, hindi niya naintindihan yung articles of impeachment, tapos na impeachment.
Oo. Siya pa of all
Kaya nga ang
people.
pinag-uusapan, yung mga marites ngayon.
Kaya nga, so,
Dinadala ko sa
Just
Lidic
to make a
rules yung
point, kung sakaling hindi daw ma-reverse yan,
Yes.
hindi matanggal yung mga new rules,
Oo.
mag-i-impeach na lang ng isa sa 1 or 2 justices
Oo.
para lang ipakita ko ano nangyari.
correct.
How
Correct.
hard it has become.
Oo.
Sabi nga
That's
ni-
actually
Hindi
what's
siya mangyari
scary.
for whatever it's worth para lang makita kung ano yung harm done to the institutions.
Yes. Sabi nga ni
Yun ang
Justice
isa sa mga
Aspuna,
marites ngayon.
sabi nga ni Justice
Kung
Aspuna,
sakasakali lang.
hindi lang inamend yung Constitution, dinerail pa.
Oo.
Hindi lang dinerail. Assuming na binago mo yung batas na hindi mo dapat ginawa. Dapat man lang prospective, hindi retroactive.
Oo.
Diba?
It
Yung
Yes.
sabi ni-
in-apply
Saka
retroactive.
hindi
Ngayon lang
walang
ako-
oral argument di ba?
Yeah.
Ikaw,
Okay.
Ami,
For such
nakakita
a
ka na ba
major
ng mga
issue.
na ganyan
Alaman
karang...
lang kaya lahat tayo nagdadaldal ngayon dito eh.
Oo.
Ikaw, Ami, nakakita ka na ba?
Sa korte eh.
Nakakita ka na ba ng sitwasyon na 5 justices, former justices
Oo nga
sa
eh.
Supreme Court, 2 of them former chief justices, umaatake sa Supreme Court?
Oo.
Usually,
Eh, kung
tahimik sila.
pinatawag na lang ba sila ng oral argument, eh, di
pinapatuloy
ganyan. Hindi
As
ganyan.
we keep saying, itong kasong to is sui generis. O, kita mo, may bago na naman term. But we will leave
Eh,
that
lahat
there.
ng impeachment sui generis.
Yes, we will leave that there. Thank you so much for joining Storycon today. Ami Pamituan, Editor-in-Chief of the
Tama
Philippine
na,
Star.
Viernes eh, kayo na
Ronald
kayo.
Llamas, a resident political heckler.
Heckler.
Join us again Monday, 4 p.m. for Storycon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao. We are One News, all sides, all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.